What's up, everybody? I got a video here of me playing JS Go Mad. JS Go Mad is also known as JSDS on CNCnet. Uh, he's a novice player, calls himself a pro, thinks he's the shit. Kind of like Matt and Buffalo. They're both novice players as well, just like JSDS. And I trash on all three of them for fun. Here is JSDS. Lasui Morad, some Arabic piece of shit. Anyway, that's why he bails me every time I say 1v1. Now go kill yourself and play with Pro Yuri. Time to bail. What are you, fucking 12, you fucking idiot? Anyways, I figured I would show you what happens when you talk too much. JSDS. So let's get started. Map 1 I let him pick, and he could pick the spots. He chose spot 2, gave me spot 4. On this map versus allies, there's no need to make a miner out of your war factory. You're just going to have the advantage based on Soviets' sheer power of Rhino tanks. Being that this guy isn't very good, I don't really have to play super fast. I can just sit back and click. It's about what I did, you'll see. Always send the first engineer out. Faster the engineer gets in the oil derrick here, the faster your money comes in. Send the 3 dogs after that. Here he comes to Engie eat. It's okay to stop that. Just put a fucking pillbox down. Placing your war factory there enables you to build down the hill. Going straight tanks is a better decision against allies. Placing the dog there was an attempt to get him so he couldn't build down, but I misplaced the dog, and he was still able to build down. In a way, it prevents him from placing his refinery closer to the gems. Seeing that he went fast radar, I queue up 3 flak track. I don't have to stop and build them right away, but I heard the Rockies, so get them out. Now, I made 3 even though I need 1. I made 3 because my plan here is to fill them with conscripts, because since I'm going 0 miners from my war factory, I'm going to have to put pressure on him because I know he at least went 1. If he didn't, I highly doubt this kid goes 0 miners. Ever since CNC tried to fix the alt the building bug, they've kind of ruined the game to where you can't alt infantry. It works at like a 20% ratio. It sucks. So, with that being said, time to adapt and abuse it. So that's why you make a lot of conscripts and put them in the flak. I noticed went for my oil, so I just send 1 away. I'm not ready to attack yet. I'm just stalling, making him move tanks around, move there. I'm trying to get my dogs out, get my stuff set up before I make in my final attack. He's wasting money on pills there. When he moves his tanks up, I have a free chance to try and alt those things. Now watch what happens when the conscripts come out. He's having problems with them. He can't alt them. He tries to run away, and then you just go in front of him. And that's GG easy. That one's for you, Laszlo. GG easy. Game 2, I get to pick the map. I choose Country Swing, just something basic. It's easy to expose bad players on a map like that because by splitting, they can't handle it. And I know for sure that he can't handle splits, so the whole point was to expose an idiot for being an idiot and talking shit. So that's what we did. Country Swing, 3 dogs, 3 conscripts, very standard in 1v1. You could go more, but you're essentially just wasting money. I see the Chinese go like 1 or 2 dogs, but most of the time it's because they like to use the map reveal cheats, and just 2 dogs is not sufficient for the size of this map. This map is very large. Even though it's only a 4 or 2 versus 2 map, the actual size is really big. And it's just a lot easier to cover the ground with 3 dogs. I lose my first one. I'm going to lose my second one in the top right. I went 4 miners from war. And the reason that being, this map is so big, you can't really 0 miner or 1 miner tank rush on this map because your opponent can easily get 1 more miner than you and defend since it's such a large map. You could be a tank ahead, but by the time you get all the way over to his base, he's going to have the second tank out. So, and then he's got the base defenses to help him and the 1 extra miner on top of that for his money. So it's just an easy map to play defense on. After I set my second refinery down, I don't build any buildings until I get my 5th miner out of the war. I mean, my 3rd one out of the war factory, but 5 total. Then I go for a power and then a war factory. And I've already decided in this game that I was going to go multiple war factories. Versus a better player, I'm more likely to probably tech unless I see them going multi-war. Then I might go 2 wars and then tech. But I don't fear JSDS's iron curtains. I don't think he knows how to use them correctly. So just having more tanks in general, I can make him use a bad iron curtain if he techs up. And if he goes multiple wars like me, I'm already ahead of him. I have my 3rd one up. He's only got his 1st. He doesn't have a very strong build. He went tanks and then started selling refineries. That's not very good 1 versus 1. Right now, I'm just chilling. There's nothing to really explain here other than this is kind of how Country Swing plays out, pretty standard. Two versus two, it's more of a faster pace map. One versus one, it's kind of trying to just overwhelm your opponent. It's pretty well known. People that play with me a lot or play against me. I like to send tanks from spot 4 to the bottom left and hide them in the corner. I'm not afraid to tell people because I do it always, and by now they should learn that I do it all the time. It's a perfect place to hide them, even if they can see it. You just forget about them. It's one of those things where you don't really think about it until it's too late. And in this game here, JSDS forgets about him. All he sees is my mass group coming up the middle, and he overreacts. And that 5 tank split to the bottom left pretty much wins the game outright. See, he's gonna scout it with the dog here. He can't see him yet. He knew I sent tanks over, but he can't see that yet because he never scouted it. Which most people don't. They don't like to go up. And now he sees it. But I'm attacking. So maybe he didn't see it. Maybe he just heard unit lost and he's looking at the middle and he saw all these tanks coming. So see, he overreacts. He's putting pills down. All he can do is see this massive army coming at him. He thinks he has me out tanked, but a better player would have been like, hey, wait a sec. How do I have him out tanked when he's had me out tanked the whole game? Where are his other tanks? Oh, they're killing my MCV. What the fuck am I doing? And now he just runs them kind of in a weird line. My dogs put them in front of my tanks and just let them pretty much auto fire. I'm not a believer in clicking in big wars. You click in small wars, like 6-on-6, 5-on-5. When you start getting in mass stuff, you're taking away a lot of extra shots that could be taken. The only time it really helps you when there's mass fodder involved, but I mean, that wasn't really mass fodder, and you can just kind of, if you click on the first tank and then just let them go, your dogs will auto attack the other dogs, and you'll be safe. And that was 2-0 pretty quick. We pretty much just alternated picking maps. And by about the 8th game, I just got tired of playing him. He's just pretty bad. It reminds me of fucking Matt. He's fucking awful. Matt is VWWWW. If you don't know who Matt is, he's a shit talker on CNC Net who's just absolutely trash, and he knows it, but he just is like JSDS. They like come from the same fucking tree. Retarded. So we start this game out. I told him to pick his spot, and he wanted right, and he put me on right for some reason. So he's going to quit, and we're going to have to restart this again. Now, I've always, when I've trained other players and I've talked to them about, you know, in 1 versus 1, trying to get one extra miner than your opponent, that's only for maps like 4-player and up. On small maps like this, 1 versus 1 tiny maps like Dune Patrol and Blood Feud, You don't want to go 1+ miner because you're going to be really far behind. And when you're really far behind and it's such a short distance to cover to your enemy, it's actually going to kill you. And here, JSDS, I went 1 miner for more, and JSDS went 2. And the problem with that is this map is so small, I'm going to have the tank advantage early. And as soon as I notice I have the tank advantage, I try to capitalize by killing one of his miners. A fucking stop function on the dogs is just ridiculous. Alright, I choose to go 1 miner because I think going 0 puts you on 0 too often. I think 3 miners is pretty easy to steadily advance yourself up and still make tanks constantly. So now I notice he doesn't have any tanks. That means he went an extra miner than me. So, time to kill miners. This is how you get the miner advantage back in your favor after somebody goes 2 for more on you and you've gone 1. Now he gets his second tank out here with his pill, and even though I'm going to lose the tank, I don't care. I'm going to lose 3 tanks and he didn't lose any, but I'm killing his second miner there. And I can easily catch up. As soon as my tank builds, boom. 2 drones. I'm down 1 tank to 3, but if I successfully get those drones in, the game's back to even, although it's in my favor 3 miners to 2. 4 miners to 2 because I just built one. 1 drone was successful, the other one died. No big deal. I still got an advantage. 4 miners to 2, and I get to play defense in my base with money. Somewhere about here, he's got to be broke. Only having 2 miners trying to make tanks and trying to get another refinery up. This is probably right where I caught him or gained an advantage on him as far as money was concerned. He's been watching somebody play and mimicking their play style. I don't know who he's been watching, but I'm assuming it's an RA2 player because he likes to build a lot of dogs, I've noticed. Unless he's watching like Buffalo. Buffalo's like the only Yuri player that I've watched that just makes a lot of dogs. The Chinese go conscript and most of the others don't make anything. So after watching him do that, I decided to go Desolators. And I have a really good tactic on this map that I like to use. I like to pressure an opponent's refinery area. That's a good example of why you should not engage in somebody's ore field with their miners and with buildings close by where they can place a pill. Because you can have the tank advantage and still lose. Anyways, back to my strategy. I like to press a field and bring my Desos behind. Right now, he's trying to get that drone onto my desos or into my miner, but when I'm finished with him, kill that miner and go place my refinery up top. I just built, transfer the miners over, make sure I got money, lost another deso and a tank. Sweet. Feels bad. Anyways, get my desos back. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. See here. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 11 tanks. 2, 4, 6, 7, 8, 9 tanks. So I got him 12 to 10 right now. And I got desos. Assuming he doesn't have any in his base. There's one going up. I see it. Now I mix the conscripts in case he wants to engage me straight on with the drones. And conscripts are good against drones. So if somebody's trying to kill your desolators, make a lot of conscripts and mix them in with your stuff. He can kill one desolator, but as soon as my conscripts all get together, he can't do anything. Now, if he engages me here, my desolators will win in his foider, but my plan is to do that. Deso his stuff, attack buildings, and make him run away from the desolator, and go back around behind the desolator, and pin him off. And try and kill his refinery, so he can't get any more money. But the thing is, I didn't do it. I didn't want to risk losing all the tanks in a line like that. I want to make him funnel through the trees and then attack him. And that's how he loses. Because he funneled them in a line. That's a good TC lesson there. Those trees. Don't funnel your tanks through them in a line while the other guy's in a block. He'll have more firing than you will. And you'll lose. Alright, going on to map 4. Score is now 3-0 to the champ. The Baylor. Time to bail is winning 3-0. Weird. Like I always say, you can't bail retards. Now I picked Tour of Egypt because I wanted to try something, a build from spot 6 to see what kind of money I would have. I wanted to go 1 miner and then build 2 refineries before another war factory. It wasn't that great of a build. I prefer going the war factory before the next refinery because of the gems and you get more tanks out. But I wanted to try it, and who better to try out a new build than versus a bad player who thinks he's the shit. You'll see me queue up a lot of bunkers at the start of games. It's to help stretch so I can get my barracks out as far as possible. But sometimes in some games you notice that you don't need it. And I noticed a few times in these 8 matches that I didn't need it. So I just cancel it and get my money back. Always send your first dog out of your barracks on Tour of Egypt to your upper pyramid. You got a bunch of lame fucking players that like to just try and NG conscript eat, and just they know they can't beat you, so they'll do anything they can to try and get a 1-up. Seal your base, whatever. NG your base. I mean, yeah, you should stop it. It's part of the game. But Yuri's part of the game, and nobody wants to play against Yuri. Yuri's overpowered. Supposedly. I just think they're misinformed and they don't know how to play the game very correctly. Their bad habits of just spamming tanks and not being able to adapt to gameplay. So, I've had plenty of money. I lose a tank here to the drone. Not having a very good day with drones. Keep losing my shit to them. See, my money's running out. Transfer them to the new patch of gems. Place my new refinery down up there. Now go war factories. With as much money as I'm going to be having from those patches, I don't need to worry about placing a refinery closer down here. And I can go 2 more war factories because all those gems is going to be plenty. Even with massing dogs and tanks and being a RE2 noob with no skill and just spamming. They call it strategy. Sure. I call it simplicity. Any fool can do it. Tour of Egypt is a lot like Country Swing. It's fast or slow, depending on what goes on. I'm not in any real rush to attack JSDS here and try and win the game. I mean, it's not very hard for even a bad player to stay relatively close with you in tanks on a map like this with all these gems. And why risk all that right now when I can just split my tanks up and put pressure in 2 different spots and I know he'll fail. Plus I wanted to try out this build to a certain point, which was 6 miners here. So I'm gonna send all the tanks with all my dogs down because I know he's gonna pay attention to that the most, and he's gonna have to hurry because he's gonna see me coming across in his mind. He's miscounted how many tanks I had up there with my dogs. He has no fodder, so now I just moved my tanks down below out of harm's way. He still hasn't noticed. He's so frustrated with what's going on in the back of his base. And he's sending tanks in a line, 2, 3 at a time. It's just not going to work. He's going to lose his MCV here. I keep building. This is just standard. And then I'm going to run him around and bring him back to my main group. And now he's going to lose everything. Drives him in a line. No concept of what he's doing. Just, hey, let me build tanks, a lot of tanks, and move them in circles. Call myself a pro. The tanks will do everything for me. I don't think he understands which way the turrets should be firing, where you should set them, how you should be moving them in clumps. Not be moving them in straight lines or around buildings and then attacking around buildings where your tanks are funneled. JSDS picked tournament map B. My plan was to go 4 war factories because I figured he would be the kind of guy that would tech. But a lot of that got busted right at the start here. I do my stretch, and I make my NG and my dogs. He sent a dog straight in and it looked like he was going to NG me right away. Not my first NG, but my NGs behind it. The NG 2 and 3 to repair the bridge and take it. And when I saw that, I put a pill down to stop the dog. And it ruined my placement of my building. If I was able to place the refinery a little farther forward, I could have done a 4-war factory build. But as soon as that pill was placed there, I have to go refinery after war factory. Because that would be too far for my miners to mine. And I need it a little closer to get 4 war factories to be pulled off correctly. So I can scout and see his war factory, pretty much all I need to see. Just to see what he's building. He has a drone out. And then he's going a miner. I try to bait him into losing it. He does a pretty good job with his drones and not losing them. I'll give him credit for that. Although I do eventually bait him into a bad spot. I hide my pill and he forgets about it behind a war factory. Now my pill is hidden. He thinks I sold it. And he's going to try to attack. Now here I queued up a bunch of conscripts with a dog. My plan was to just kind of... I didn't really expect the conscripts to really win the game because I saw he had already teched with a deso, but I wanted to pressure him into making a lot of defense, like desolators and stuff, and wasting his money because he teched. And I saw his battle lab. I'm pretty sure I saw his battle lab at this point, and I figured he would be going Navy. And if he doesn't make desolators, which he gets a good one off here. I didn't see that one. If he doesn't make desolators, then sending the drones in here, I did make him kill his tanks and get the advantage. He didn't kill his tanks. He tried to engage me. So I'm letting the drones do their work, and then I was going to put the pill and kill him, and that's how he died. But back on to making him spend money on the desolators. Each desolator is 600. He made 2 of them. That's 1,200. That takes away from him being able to build a dread if he's teching up for it. And all that money is valuable, and especially running on 2 miners. He can't be that rich right now. He has a 3rd miner on the other gems. I didn't see that on the regular ore. So now he's just trying to hold on for dear life, desoing. I just make some drones, kill the shit, finish him off. I'm teching also and stretching towards the middle just in case he might have a dread out there that I don't see, because I need a building or 2, especially a battle lab, so I can get units that can attack Navy in case he gets my MCV somehow. But he gives up. Five zero, I believe. Dry heat, country swing. Doom Patrol. Tour of Egypt. And Official B. Yeah, 5-0. Now I'm going to pick Heartland here. After I picked Heartland, I was like, shit, I don't really want to play that map. I wanted Divide and Conquer after I thought about it. I just started playing Divide and Conquer map. I played against somebody, an RA2 player, a while back. It was my first time playing it. I actually kind of like the map. I like the way it's laid out. It's great for team play. It's great for one-on-one. It's just a good map in general. This map's more of a 2 versus 2 map, not really a 1 versus 1 map. I know a lot of people like to play it. I'm just picking basic stuff. Just if he can't play basic maps, he's not going to play complicated maps versus me very well. So I'm more of a late game player anyway. I'm good at stopping rushes. I'm not that great at rushing. Like, it's not something I try to do. I don't need to, because I usually feel like I can just outsmart my opponent, outplay him, make him make mistakes. Usually the longer the game goes, it favors me. Unless I'm playing a nerd like Karik. And Apox. This overpowered Apox that Blazer hates. Now just doing the basic scout, trying to take the buildings over, the important ones. Don't want to lose my dog, so I send him back. Get the middle building. I'll get the building on his side. Normally I would go 2 miners on this map, but I feel like JSDS is not very good at rushing, so I went 3. I saw that he only went 1 miner, maybe 0. I'm not sure because I didn't see anything come out. But I did see him have 2 early quick tanks. I'm going to move a miner down. It's always good to balance miners on ore patches so they don't run out too fast, because they constantly will regenerate ore throughout the game. Yeah, he went 1 miner and went straight tanks, because I got 3 miners out. So when you see that happen to you on a map, switch to drones. Early start, it'll help you catch up. Don't target 2 tanks, or don't target 2 tanks, target a single tank. You target the single tank, it's less likely you're going to lose your drone. And always try to attack from the side or from the front. I mean, from the side or from the corner. Don't attack directly on unless he's by himself, and don't attack chasing with drones. Now I'm just going to hide my drone behind a tree so he can't be targeted, and just wait. And now I'm just going to expand on the map and gain the money advantage on him and basically bleed him to death. I mean, that's what I would do to any other player, whether you're good or you're bad. The whole point is, if you have more money than your opponent, you finish them. Now I keep looking always to try and get my drone in. Doesn't matter what I get, I'll be satisfied with a tank. I'd be satisfied with a miner. Anything works. But the way his tanks are positioned facing the bridge, I'm not likely to get it in unless I go all the way around, and he's going to see it and move. So now I'm deciding that I see him put the Iron Curtain up. So now I decide, well, now it's on me to put pressure on him, because if I wait, he can IC in my base. And that would be a losing proposition for me if he was able to IC close. He could kill a lot of buildings and then leave and play defense again, or he can kill all my tanks and win the game. So once the Iron Curtain goes up, I take 4 tanks and split them down to the south. The plan is, here at this moment, I'm going to use my drone on the thing so he doesn't blow the bridge. The plan here is to uh, try to get him to attack me or use his Iron Curtain or anything on my side, and then I will run the 4 tanks up and kill his MCV and his Iron Curtain in Battle Lab. Um, if he doesn't go for that, then he's just allowing me to get more money and more tanks than him because he's running out of ore and he's stuck in a corner. And he needs to expand to the bottom, and I just killed his oil. And by not expanding early, he allowed me to do that. He should have been building off of his oil derrick and stretching left to get that ore in spot 1. Now here, I'm trying to put pressure in multiple spots, trying to get him to make a mistake, basically. I don't have any plans to attack with the 4 tanks right now. I'm just kind of hiding them and making him just guess. Because that's kind of a spot where most people most likely won't scout. So he can't probably see that. He's switching to drones. He knows that right now that he won't get anywhere with his IC by trying to get his tanks because I'm going to make him use it early. So now he's going to try to Iron Curtain his drones and send them into my tanks. Versus Soviet, that's a very good strategy because it's very hard to repair fast enough on multiple techs. So I'm going to try and get his drones to target my 4 tanks here, and I'll kill the Ivan while I'm at it. Oh, maybe not. I was unsuccessful at killing the drones. I only got a few of them. So now that I know he's going to do that, I need to come up with a plan to prevent the drones from getting too many tanks. I know that the bridges, I've had tank battles before where on bridges, if you go 3 tanks wide on a bridge, you can't pass them until you kill them. So I'm willing to sacrifice 6 tanks since I have him so out-tanked. I'm willing to sacrifice 6 tanks to stop that from getting a lot more. Now see, they have to kill those tanks before they can enter the other ones or pass them. He's like, what the fuck? Yeah. Don't worry about it, bro. That's called strategy. So I lost 6 tanks to his Iron Curtain. No big deal. Look at how many I have over him. So now I have him out. I have him out tanked. I don't have to worry about driving in a line because there's no way he's going to win this war. So now I just try to get him grouped in a corner at one point, and he loses everything, and that's the game. Cool little strategy to fight against drones, though. You can get it to a narrow passageway and block it off to where he can't pass you. You can save a lot of tanks and a lot of headaches. Alright, we're at 6-0 now. It's his map choice. He picked the map called Strobe. I have never played this map before. I've never seen it, didn't even know it existed. At first, I'm going to pause it real quick and let you see what I see, what I thought when I first saw it. Right off the bat, there's 2 derricks. I'll move my mouse pointer here. There's a derrick there and there's a derrick there. I didn't see that before the game started. Like, it's kind of hard to see, but now that after playing the map against him, I can see it now. Like, I can't believe I didn't see it before. But I did notice there's a lot of gems. It looks like a basic map. And it looks like a map that I might be moving my MCV to the middle to get the gems in the middle. That's just what it looks like to me at first. And I like to play as allied on maps that I haven't played before because playing as Sov on a brand new map, it's hard to scout if somebody anti-scouts you. And all you have is spy planes. So it's hard to see splits coming. It's hard to just a lot of things. You don't know what to expect because you've never played the map before. And at Allies, you can make Rocketeers and scout everything, and it makes it easier for you to plan attacks and defend against attacks. So I'm going to switch to America here in this game and play him. And this is the game he did the best in. He actually had a chance to beat me. I made a very bad attack early on, which almost cost me the game, but I was able to recover. But a lot of this play in this map has a lot to do with never playing it before and not knowing what to expect money-wise. And I went broke quite a few times, and I had a lot of money quite a few times in this map. And I didn't find the oil until I saw his oil taken. And I was like, wait, he's got an oil? And then I went and looked in the spot for myself, and I was like, oh, I have an oil too. So all that helps, especially at the start. No, if I knew I had an oil at the beginning, I would have taken it right away. So I did see I had a little bit of gems below me. Uh, my thoughts of this map after playing it, I don't really care for how uneven the terrain is on the map. It makes for building and stretching across the map really just a pain in the ass. It's kind of fucking sucks, to be honest with you. Like, you have ore to your right here from my base, and you can't stretch to it really. You can stretch, like, let me correct that. You can stretch straight up, but you can't do it efficiently. And doing it efficiently is the key to winning games. You don't want to just stretch by just wasting money on random buildings. You want to do it within your build. Yeah, I kept getting invited to an Age of Empires game, and I had to close my program so that would stop. So the only way I was able to somewhat efficiently do it later on in the game was to put it below my MCV. Now, just looking at the way I have placed my buildings on this map versus the way placed his buildings, you can tell he's played this map before by the way he's stretched. He knows how to stretch and where to stretch, whereas I'm just placing buildings right now. There's no efficiency whatsoever to anything I'm doing. But here I notice, oh wait, I got an oil. That's fucking gay. Missed out on all that extra money at the start. So I decided to move my MCV middle so I can get some gems. The one thing I do like about the map is it's very open to multiple attacks. I like that you can go across the middle in 3 different spots. I like that you can go around the edge and attack each other. And I like that there's also bridges instead of like where you can, like a bridge on the bottom that you can blow up if you want to stop away, or you can repair it or use it to your advantage. I like the dynamics of it. So Allied versus Allied, it's pretty much a Rocky War. You want to Allied have really poor. Here's my bad attack. All right, so I attack his tanks like I should to finish his tanks off. I have a tank advantage and I'm building tanks. But I decide to leave and go after fucking IFVs that I don't need to do, which is costing me and allowing him to catch up in the tank war. I'm not bringing tanks with me, and it was a fail all around. And then I bring 2 tanks across the middle. Like, he could have easily picked those off, but he didn't. I still have an advantage here, and I fail again. Forgot to bring my Rockies. And then I bring him when basically it's too late. He has me outnumbered on the Rocky battle. So here, at this moment in time, he has a huge advantage. But being JSDS and who he is, I don't think he understands the advantage he has right now. So, I gotta hurry up and cancel my fucking tanks and make anti-air. If he would have just gone in right there and killed my war factory, it was a good game. He didn't know I have low power, but any good player would have known I had low power and would have won the game there. But instead, he targeted the wrong buildings. He targeted a power plant and he targeted a war factory, which allowed me to get my IFVs out. And then, after getting my IFVs out, he attacked my miners and allowed me to get a lead IFV with his Rockies. And that was what turned the game. Because once you get a lead IFV in a one-on-one scenario, I'm sorry, bro. It's a good game. I control the map until I lose that IFV. Let's just put it that way. They're so fast. And what are you going to do? Now I'm going to kill some Rockies. Like, you can't catch them. Elite IFVs are game changers. Literally. Now see, all he can do is play defense. The only other alternative is to run all of his... He has a grizzly advantage on me. He should have just rammed him down my throat, but he didn't. So here, just kill some Rocketeers and then run. And then I know the IFV will win the Mirage one-on-one. So I'll attack it, kill the Battle Lab, run again, kill the Rocky. And now I'm going to try and hit that. Here he almost killed some of my miners. I think he got one of them. Yeah. And then he almost got the others. It was a good paradrop. I wasn't paying attention, for sure. But, a little too late. He allowed me to recover, and having the lead IFV in my possession is just lethal. Kill his refinery. I think it's better than anything else. You want to stop him from getting money. I am, though, however, going to make a huge mistake and lose my IFV here. The waypoint paths of this game sometimes get really fucking gay. And you click and you'd expect it to go across the little short shallow there. But instead, it decides to go right up over the middle and you lose your shit. And you're just like, what the fuck? But hey. It's JSDS, right? We'll just paradrop. We got Rockies. So, just distracting him. Trying to make him chase my Rockies around so I can get my paradrop down. Get ourselves a war factory, make it a successful paradrop. And still hasn't stopped it. We'll get a barracks. Meanwhile, make sure we're pumping out rhinos or grizzlies. Decided to move all my miners to the right. It's a lot closer, a lot better. Alright, I'm moving my Rockies up. I'm trying to get his IFVs to gather, engage something. Gonna attack his battle lab so he can't get Mirage because his Mirage will destroy the Grizzlies. I'm willing to sacrifice a few because I know in the end he's going to make the mistake, not me, when it comes down to the final battle. Once again, paradrop somewhere, distract in another spot, and have your way with him. Trying to pick off some Rockies didn't go as planned. He's got one refinery left. I just noticed. So now I decide, okay, we got to get rid of the refinery first, even though I want to get rid of that paradrop. Moving my Rockies towards the top corner made him over adjust and put his IFVs there. He thought I might sneak attack or something. So I decide, okay, well, I'm going to send my Grizzlies up and kill all of his anti-air. Then I'm going to put my Rockies over his tanks. And that's how you have it. Once again, he made the mistake. All it took was a paradrop. And now he has nothing. And I don't have to do anything now. He quits. So you don't always have to win the battles. All you have to do is just make him make a critical mistake, and you win the game. Kill the units that counter your units. All right, this will be our last game. I picked Divide and Conquer because I wanted to play that one before. It's just a cool map. Whoever made it, congrats. You made a very good map. I decide not to take a spot. I tell them play random because I think the map plays well top versus bottom, left versus right, corners. I don't think it matters. I think the map's very well balanced. I think it was really well put together. So it doesn't matter what spots we get. I think it'll play good. We end up unfortunately getting a top versus bottom match. I know JSDS would probably have preferred as allied being corners because it would have made his allies more useful to do splits, but hey. We all saw how he handles splits, so maybe this was better for him. Stretching to the gems, I'm going to make 4 dogs. It's a pretty large map. I want to make sure I see everything. When you play against allies, sometimes it's better to make more dogs because it's hard to scout against them later on than it is a Soviet. So you kind of want to get your early scouting in. Allies are a difficult one to play against, especially if you got a good allied opponent. So now I've got my corners scouted and I'm targeting all my dogs to go to a certain spot, and then I'm doing it again. Basically, it just covers all waypoints, or pathways, I should say, to his base. Surprisingly, I didn't lose any dogs. So, A+ on the scout. Got pretty much everything scouted. Saved my dogs, got some good fodder. And I decided to put my first refinery down over there because plan on moving my other miners to the gem patch after. I went 3 miners because after playing 7 games with JSDS, he's not the rushing type. I found out that he is almost in a way mimicking my style, and he's just hoping that he can outplay me later on. I wouldn't suggest that, JSDS, for future. If you're listening, if I were you, I would probably do your style more of a rush. I'd probably ask other players that like to rush if they teach you how to rush well, because you seem to get flustered with splits and other stuff like that. So I get my Desos out. I want to expand over to my other gem patch or to the other spots gems. I'm not really worried about his having more tanks than me because I have Soviet tanks and I got Desolators. So it's really in my favor, even though it doesn't look like it, because I can just Deso camp and there's not much he can do about it right now. I have flat cannons that I pre-built, one behind my war, one by my other refinery, and I have a Deso back there just in case of, for that reason right there, a paradrop. I'm going to start moving my miners over to the other gem patch while it's building. I see he has teched, so now I'm switching to flax. When he makes Mirage, you want to have Desos available, and it's hard to walk Desos, so better to go with the Deso bomb. I have so much money, might as well put another flat cannon down. Hoorah. Start teching, just in case my Deso bomb fails or anything on my attack. Or maybe he camps really well. I want a Iron Curtain to help swing the tide in my favor. Fortunately for me, I'm not going to need the Iron Curtain in this game because he makes a really poor choice and attacks right into my Desos and loses everything. He asked me where I was hiding my flax, but I never hid them. They were right there in the open. He still attacked. He's sending a spy up towards my stuff. I thought I sold my refinery in time, but I guess I didn't. So he's going to get half my money. I have like, what, 6K, and he got about 3K of it. It's whatever. In my opinion, after putting my industrial down and having an Iron Curtain, the game's over. So, here he is pressuring. Maybe he can't see that spot, but I'm just loading up my Desos right now, and I'm like, okay, well, I'm going to run my tanks behind, and there goes the Desos. Good game. Thanks for playing. I see his GI here start shooting at my tanks. Not fucking with those GI. Ever since the stupid can't alt infantry shit started happening, not gonna fuck with that shit no more. Just go around it. Make some Desos. He uses a shield. For some reason, I feel like he thinks he still has a chance to win this, but I have an Iron Curtain ready, so like the game's over. I decided to use it to kill the Prism Tower. And yeah, there goes his last war. And now I'll go for his radar and finish him off. We're going to control shift the Desos, deploy them, kill GIs. And he should quit. And that's that. 8-0. Pretty much just got tired of playing him. So I let him know you can watch the records. He didn't want me streaming. He wouldn't play me if I streamed it because he didn't want to get embarrassed. He probably knew he was going to lose. So I decided to record the game and post stream it right now. Because I'm a dick like that. And there we have it. We just watched the record of me whooping his ass 8-0. Fucking his face. And that's the end of JSDS. Good game, bitch.